So welcome back to the Freedom Podcast. I got my friend here, Martin. Today's gonna be good. This is the backstory is good, and what he's doing is unique. So I appreciate your time and attention on the front end. So Martin, tell me about yourself. Who are you? Why are you here? Kind of stuff.
Why are any of us here?
Yeah, that's the
I
big question.
why am I here? You know, I was I'm Martin Rowinski, currently Boardsi co-founder and CEO, and I was born in Poland when it was still communist. Um, I definitely had to learn as a kid how to survive without much, and always dreamt of having the freedom um, of coming to America and being free. I mean, a lot of people take freedom for granted that have never had it taken away from them. I was born without it. So when I saw funny, not funny, but certain type of movies, we would only get so many channels. But when I saw and so, Americans pull up in the movies and get out of their car and they don't even lock the door. It was like, what? What's going what's going on? But yeah, so I always dreamed of that. Obviously, when you are born and raised in a communist country, it's not like you just one day wake up and go, oh, I saved enough money for a plane ticket. I'm gonna go to America. It just doesn't work like that. They're basically try to keep you there and keep you prisoned. So if you ever hear a story of anybody leaving a communist country, they always got a great story because they escaped, literally. So our escape took place. I left when I was 9. It was just me and my mom, and we went through Italy. And we were in Italy for about 8 months, and that was my first time of seeing what communism is not. It wasn't America yet, but I saw things that I've never seen as a kid, bananas. I mean, just walking into a store and seeing shelves full of choices, not just like the things that you need, bread and potatoes and meat, but I mean, candy, choices of candy, not one type of candy. It was amazing. Put a tear in my eye. But yeah, 8 months later, showed up in America and had to deal with a lot of uh, adversity there and struggle, learning English, being picked on, being bullied in middle school. Definitely not social media bullying like these days, but let me tell you, bullying is bullying. Um, but yeah, so I feel like I came up on top, and I wouldn't change any of that because it built me for who I am and built my character for what it is today. So, I do the best thing and laugh about it. Just one of those life things that I had to go through. But
Well,
why am I here?
Well,
Go ahead. Go
let's
ahead.
pause there. I mean, at 9 years old, you had a sense of not having freedom even back then. You're watching the
Oh,
movies and
yeah.
seeing something different. That's something right there. I mean, 9 years old. I mean, I dare to I dare to guess what I was thinking about at 9. And you're in Italy. You start seeing the supermarkets. You're seeing things you've never seen before. Like and bananas is pretty profound, right? That's a wild looking fruit.
Yeah.
You know,
Pineapple, that's even wilder.
yeah, pineapple. So that's
Yeah.
something. So does anything stand out to you at that moment where you're getting your first taste of what freedom could mean to you?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, it was just freedom to me meant opportunity. Um, I took a lot of opportunities as a kid. I was what you would call a very outgoing kid in Poland, had a lot of friends, likable, and I spoke out a lot. Sometimes said things I shouldn't have said. Being in a communist country, I just didn't know any better.
Hmm.
One of the things I remember saying was to a teacher how I don't want to learn Russian because when we get to at that point when we were in fifth grade, Russian became a curriculum where you just had to learn Russian. My sister is 11 years older than I am, and she speaks Russian and Polish and also Italian now. But I did not want to learn Russian. I was very against it, and I told my teacher that, so they sent me to the principal's office to brought my mom in, and they had to explain to me how it's not a choice. it's a requirement. So I had to learn it. And thankfully, a few months later, we left. So I never did learn it. But
You never had to learn it. Huh?
no, I never did. Never did. But yeah, that was like my really probably one of the biggest standout moments of I don't have a choice. I mean, I don't even have a choice of what I'm going to learn. Like that was to me, that was crazy as a 9-year-old. So, so coming to this country and all of a sudden you're like, it's not just a choice of like what language you can learn any language you want in school, or, you can get on any freeway you want, go to any state you want. That American dream is full of choices.
Yeah.
Freedom is incredible, incredible. And, I thank every veteran every time I meet them for, because freedom is not free. It was earned, and to protect it, it has to be earned too. So
yeah.
we're living in an amazing country.
Well, what's funny is that I think a lot of us don't realize what we actually have freedom.
Yeah,
We don't realize what it is, and a lot
yeah,
of us are ready to give it away. Like you think about the political environment, how polarized it is, the dictator,
hmm
government, total control, controlled, compelled speech. I mean, a lot of us we're just ready to give it away, having no idea, what that means, what it leads to. So,
yeah. I always use that analogy. Sorry for cutting you off, but you said it right. The analogy of being born with it and living with it, and just not enjoying it. You take it for granted. I mean, a lot of people take a lot of different things for granted, but freedom should definitely not be taken for granted. But I always use the analogy of fish out of water, right? Fish doesn't appreciate the water
yeah,
that it's swimming in, but guess what happens to that fish when you throw it out of the water and watch it just, flopping there for its life, wishing it could get back in the water? That's freedom.
that's
You take
freedom.
the freedom away, you're going to have a lot of people in America that have no idea what they had. They're going to be like that fish, begging
Yeah.
for it back.
Yeah, and you see it with the government, and like in Canada, freezing up. There's peaceful protesters freezing up the
Yeah.
bank accounts. I mean, my God, the government goes into your bank account. It then there's another type. There's another type of freedom, like beliefs, mental freedom, where I see a lot of people.
hmm
I was on a call yesterday, and business owner was talking about you need money to make money. Well, if you believe that, it's nice if you have resources, no question about it. Prosperity is better than something
Easier.
else. Yeah. But if you don't have the resources, if a business owner doesn't have the resources, and if their belief is you need money to make money, well, now what? Do nothing. And so the
No,
belief,
yeah, you're absolutely right. Those people need to believe that they can do it, that you can bootstrap a business. You don't need to start a business as an entrepreneur and right off the bat, have $1 million in your bank account so you can go out and hire 300 people because that's what it takes. That's not what it takes. It takes courage to get out there and start. You start small and you build it. I came to this country, my mom had $500 in her pocket. So if I can accomplish what we've accomplished and get to the point where we're at right now, where we do have over 200 employees and, helping a lot of other businesses at Boardsi and have great co-founders, we bootstrapped it.
yeah,
It's definitely possible, but it takes effort and hard work and smart work and leveraging the tools that you do have.
yeah, there's nothing like not having financial resources that really provoke creativity and maybe bartering, making deals, and bringing people in on
Yeah.
a vision, something like that. Let's go there to where decades later you had a vision in Boardsi. What was your vision that inspired you?
Yeah. So prior to Boardsi, potato, tomato. I did a lot of so I've had a couple of successful entrepreneurship prior to that, but I always did and enjoyed consulting. I loved helping other businesses.
Hmm.
The part I didn't enjoy is when I helped a company go public, I didn't have a financial benefit because I was a consultant. I didn't have any equity in the play. I helped a company sell to a publicly traded company. Same scenario. I was just a consultant. Made great money. It was fun. It was fun being engaged and in that environment. So prior to becoming a co-founder at Boardsi, I just felt like, you know what, I'm tired of just being a consultant. I want to be an advisor, or I want to be a board member. I want to help a company do what I've done before, but I want to be able to enjoy the equity and get some equity out of the deal. And then when that big thing happens, I get the benefit too. I get to, cash out on something, and all my hard work pays off. And I had a really hard time finding board positions, had a hard time finding advisory roles. So that's pretty much when my past partners came together, and we said, you know what, there's a gap in the market, let's create it. So that's how Boardsi came around. So now we're a private network of executives. We have a network of basically a human capital network of executives. And then we have companies that come to us looking for opportunities to bring on an advisor or a board member, and we connect the dots. We become the corporate matchmaker.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. I think it's pretty smart. You went as a consultant, active hours, expertise, you're earning income. But then when you become an equity player for those companies, you have an asset, and all ships rise kind of stuff. And so then that you saw the value of that kind of thing. So talk to me about when a company comes to you. I would assume the business owner, but when the company comes to you, they're thinking about putting together a board. Like what's their motivation? What type of board? Where are they coming from?
Yeah, so we get to work with different types of companies. Everything from a startup to mid-range company to a company that's in hyper growth, company that's about to go public. They're trying to finalize a few different things, and publicly traded companies. So every need at every of those stages could be and is different. A lot of startups might not bring on boards. They might be just wanting to bring on 3 to 4 board advisors to help them with their growth. Like, what are the next stages? Where are we at? Somebody that's been through it before, so that they don't have to go through the pain of trying to figure out doing things wrong. Why do that? Bring somebody that's already been there, done that, and help you get there quicker. Companies that are about to go public also come with different needs. They might be lacking diversity on their board. So they'll use us to bring on diversity to their board before going public. So there's definitely different reasons for everybody. But yeah, it ranges from advisors to board members, different reasons. At the end of it, it's always a strategic growth play on their part.
Yeah, it's just growth. And it's funny. It's almost, there's something intangible about somebody who's been there and done that. They have an intangible skill, but they can see what to do next, based on the destination. Sometimes it's hard to put a value on that, right? Because it's not it's not something you put your hands around. But I think one example where that shows up, you take a first-time business owner can take a minute, like maybe years, to build something that has some succession value or something else or income stream. But then the second and third business doesn't take that long. Fourth and fifth business, right? It's a part-time endeavor. They have so much
Absolutely.
That like the whole analogy. You want bigger impact. You take bigger action, right? If you touch water, you slap it hard, you get a big splash. You tap it. So the people coming in, are they already convinced that it's valuable? They're already pre-sold. I need a great board to help me, 10x or whatever it is. Or are they skeptical, or what? Where do they come in on?
Yeah, that type of play comes in also differently. Some people are like, you got me curious. Like, what is this? How does this work? Or people are like, oh yeah, I got 2 advisors, but I really need a very, very strategic one, and here's what I need. So yeah, some people have worked with advisors, board advisors. Some haven't. Some have no idea what this is about. And then, of course, the bigger companies that have boards, they know exactly what it's about, and they know exactly what they want. At the end of the day, after our onboarding call, typically they come out of it, being boxed in. This is where we're at, to kind of being open-minded. We help them. The onboarding bowl really helps them think outside the box, and that creates ideas. So a lot of times they'll come to us and they'll be like, yeah, we just need one board member, just one guy. And then at the end of the call, they're like, okay, here's what I need. I need 4 guys or 4 people. and here's what I'm looking for. This, and this. All of a sudden, things open up. Oh my gosh. If you can find me these type of people, I can take my business to a next level. So they get a little excited. It's pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I think a Shark Tank too, where it's not the small dollar amounts they're putting in. That's not
Yeah.
the
No,
value. The
no,
value is
they're looking at the shark. That's what they
yeah.
want.
That's
And
that's
even,
the value.
yeah. And even the sharks. I mean, I've seen, I watch a lot of Shark Tank. And
Huh.
how many times do they sit there and they're like, they got a great product, service, whatever they're pitching, right?
Hmm.
They have this great product and they're a one-man shop and they're looking for that maybe one or maybe two sharks, right? And how many times did a shark, uh, Kevin he's notorious for saying this. He actually shot a little video for us, but he's notorious for saying, okay, great, you got a great product, Kirk, but who's supporting you? Who's on your board? Who are your advisors? Like he wants to know before I put any money into it, is there anybody else supporting you right now? Because I want to make sure that this business is going to be successful. So, and a lot of times they're like, oh no, it's just me. I got this great product. I'm going to kill it. I just need one of you guys to help me get into Walmart or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like that. It's not how it works. There has to be structure. You have to have a board. You have to have a board. Behind board comes structure. From structure comes growth that you're ready for, or else you're gonna have crazy growth and then you won't be able to deliver on it. So
Yeah. I mean,
be ready
Kevin.
for it.
Yeah, Kevin probably knows a few things, right? About Mr.
Oh, he's
Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, like working in isolation, right? The idea that the founder of a business is an architect. They know certain things, but there's other aspects. There's blind spots, and a board that can really do it. So that's interesting. So let's take the other side of that coin. Like, why would an experienced person come to you with interest in being on a board?
Yeah, I think that reason also can vary from everybody. For example, for me personally, not that I sit on any more boards anymore now, but back in the day when I used to do consulting, why did I do consulting? I enjoyed it. I loved it. I thrived in that environment. I love taking problems and solving them. I love taking a small department and growing it to be big.
No.
I loved watching a company go from being a mid-sized company to growing and being sustained by its own marketing that maybe I created their marketing department and then being bought by a publicly traded company. Obviously, there's a little pride behind that, but it's like, wow, I did that. That's crazy. Um, so some people thrive in that environment and they love it. Some people have done a great job. Maybe they sold a company. Maybe they were an entrepreneur. They took it big. They sold it. Now they're sitting on money and they don't know what to do. And they got tired of traveling the world and they want to give back. They want to, get their hands dirty again and get involved. So they just want to get involved. Then you got corporate people that maybe they retired, but they're not ready to, hang up the gloves and they want to get on a board and be involved and keep going. The old saying, the day you die is the day you retire, right? So
Yeah.
some people love to keep their mind active, and this is one way to do it. That's not, you're not working full time, but you're still involved. You're still making decisions. Your brain is still going. So I think everybody has a different reason and different passion. And then there's some people that haven't even thought about it. Like I'll be playing golf around, and of course, as you're playing with strangers, questions always come up. Oh, what do you do for work? So the
Yeah.
very second I say it, I have 3 resumes in my hands. Like
That's
they're like,
awesome.
oh, I would love to get a board and be on
Yeah.
a board. I'm like, I I'm waiting for that person to say, hey, that's awesome. I'm looking for a board member. That's the guy I want to talk to, because finding people that want to be on the board is the easier part.
Yeah.
Because like I said, even the 3 guys I'm golfing with, they might have not even thought about wanting to be on the board, but as soon as they hear that, it's like, oh, that sounds so prestigious. It is. And, in that same time, it's also not easy to find that board position. So we got good at it, but we're not magicians. We're still relying on the third party, which is the company. that has to make the decision who they interview and who they pick. We don't do that for them.
Who they want. I can see. So
Yeah.
the relative difficulty is more on the company that's ready for a board, put it to use.
Yes.
Talent is still a matching thing, but there's relatively
Yeah.
speaking, that's what the kink is. So what
Yeah.
constitutes a successful from both perspectives when it comes together and it works? Like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I wish I would have done this sooner. Do you see any trends on what makes that outcome?
Yeah, I think some companies that take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to go through all the different people that we connect them with before they even schedule an interview with whatever percentage of them they pick. And I think what they're looking for is two things. A smart company would look at multiple things. It's not just about a resume and what the person's done. Once they talk to them, you want to find out what's that person's mission, vision, and value. Just like the executive wants to find out what's the company's mission, vision, and values. Do we even align? Because if you don't,
Oh man,
it's going to be a short-lived relationship, right? I mean, just imagine marrying somebody or you're having a partner, whatever these days, whoever this second person that you're dedicating your life to, I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life. And if your mission, vision, and values don't align, that's going to be World War III in home,
Yeah.
So it's same thing in business. Make sure that those align. Make sure that, when you get on a phone call, first interview, second interview, third interview, make sure all the partners in the company align personality wise. And then that's a right person that's going to ignite your company into growth. And we have seen that happen. We've helped companies go public. It's a beautiful thing. We've helped companies during COVID that literally were almost bankrupt to now they got great evaluations. They've grown. They're about to raise their Series A. I mean, it's so we have seen some awesome things, some beneficial things, but every one of them at a different scale. But it's typically if a company does the right approach, they focus on mission, vision, and values, make sure that the personalities match. It's a winning combination. And Boardsi loves nothing but win and win.
Yeah, because at that point, they're in the room. They already have the background, the expertise. So it's vision, missions, passions, heart and soul, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Otherwise, it's just not fun. I mean, at this point in business, work with two people side by side that are in conflict or not aligned or not passionate. I mean,
Yeah,
at this point, what's the fun in that? I remember
exactly.
I was a board member for a nonprofit, and in a previous life, and let me tell you what's not a fit for me. Right? I just the whole world I'm glad there's nonprofits. That I'm totally wired for profit, where you got to create something of value, and the payer is the same person that's benefiting from the service or product versus different kind of things. So that's really something. Is there a story that comes to mind where you did the matchmaking and it really highlights the value of what you do?
There's a few. I know. So I'll talk about one. I actually have a short interview with the founder of the company. We ended up becoming friends. Funny enough, the company, when we originally signed him up, we were living in. I was living with my wife in Northern California, and he was in Southern California. So he came to us, and his company was one of the companies during COVID that got really hit bad. He relied on hotels. That was his niche kind of a thing, cruise lines. So he came to us kind of hesitant, literally down, and thought he was going to have to shut the company down. And we were like, well, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can find some kind of an advisor that maybe you can roll into being a board member eventually. That can really help you out and revive your company, get some new connections going for you, because he literally lost all his connections. Everybody, all the CEOs at all the different hotels that he had connections with just basically quit, got fired, moved on, just lost jobs. So we actually found him a great connection, a great CEO. He was a CEO of the Virgin Hotels at that time.
Hmm.
And still to this day, I think 3 years later. So since then, I moved to Las Vegas, as you probably know. And the co-founder of this company moved to Las Vegas as well. So when I think he saw an update on my LinkedIn that it said Las Vegas. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm in Vegas too. Let's get together." So I've had lunch with him a couple of times. That's how I know so much about his company, because we literally stay updated all the time. So yeah, he basically went from almost shutting down to now having contracts at uh, multiple hotels, cruise lines, one of the biggest cruise lines. Um, uh, he has a contract with Lowe's. That's, I think it's finalized, but he was waiting for making sure that he can deliver on the product, because their order is going to be huge. So yeah, he went from that to now. Actually, I think he has 2 or 3 additional products along. So you started with one product, and now I think he has 2 or 3 other products that kind of are in the same niche area. But yeah, he's grown quite a bit. It's an awesome story, and
Yeah.
he still to this day remembers, how down he was when he connected with us, and now it's a whole different world for him. Yeah.
What example of having like the right guy, the right person with you, and don't quit too soon, because it's easy,
Yeah.
right? It's
It's
dark
easy.
before dawn kind of stuff. You're
Yeah.
mining for gold, and just before you you hit that
Yeah.
vein, it's easy, and it's a familiar story with a lot of business owners, right? But I think it's a huge difference having a board member, guide, sage, having people in your corner that can see things that the business owner doesn't see. And
Outside
like,
perspective is amazing.
yeah, it's so much clearer because it's inside the fishbowl. It's kind of the emotions, everything else cloud the view, but outside it's like, no, you're swimming fine.
Yeah,
This is what you would expect at this stage of the journey. Uh,
absolutely.
if you stop spinning, it's because if you stop swimming, it's because you want to, and that's it. So, what is the right time, like for a business? What is the right point for a business to say, I should at least talk to you and find out what options I have
Right now.
right now? Any
I
size
don't care.
business?
Yeah, I don't care what stage your business is in right now. And I say that because a lot of times, if you get to that point of the story I was just talking about,
Yeah.
it might be too late. He got us right in time. And I mean, his timing was perfect because he literally was almost checked out. His timing was great. But imagine if he had this board member on his board prior and COVID hit, it would have never been a problem. He probably would
Yeah.
have guided him right through it. So why not protect yourself, and worst case scenario, build a board of advisors, and now you have a fishing pond that when you are ready to build out your board, you can take people that were your advisors and put them on your board.
Yeah.
You've already been working with them. You already have experience with them. You already know you love working with them. You enjoy it. The mission, vision, values all align. So make him a
Yeah.
board member.
So don't delay expertise. Don't delay
No,
the bigger.
no. Don't wait till the nuclear bomb goes off.
Yeah. As you say this, I'm thinking, well, dang, maybe I should listen to what you're telling me, because because I had in my mind, I want to get to a certain milestone, then take that step.
Yeah,
But I hear you loud and clear. You're saying no, right? If it doesn't make sense, at least the person went through that option and it makes sense. But maybe it
yeah,
does, and then what, right? Then imagine, right? Problem solution kind of thing. I mean,
absolutely.
the world's moving fast. There's, not to mention the 2024 election. There's got to be, the last election, there were some, market volatility, and people
Yeah.
were thinking about what to expect. And then there's at least 5 technologies I know of that are move things fast, like blockchain and AI, just to mention 2. And there's quantum computing not too far behind the 5, and they're all kind of coming at the same time, which a lot of
Hmm.
interaction and stuff. So when you
Yeah.
when you think about what you're doing and you put your head up and you look down the road a bit, what do you see? What do you see in the future?
So, there's a lot of talk, and I'll focus on one of those. I mean, the funny thing is quantum computing, I think, is only going to speed up AI. Those two are like made for each other. I won't get into blockchain because it's just not my forte. But I will talk about AI. There is obviously a lot of fear, right? A lot of people out there, oh my gosh, AI is going to kill all these jobs. And so it's easy in business, easy to focus on the negative, just like in life. I mean, there's just certain people that it's all they do is focus on the negative,
Yeah.
You could have had the greatest meal of your life, but the wine was terrible, and now the whole meal in your perspective is ruined. I don't look at it that way. That was just a bad glass of wine, but the meal was still great. Just don't finish the wine. Tell the guy that the wine was bad.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and give the restaurant a 1-star rating because the wine was bad. Or there's even people that look at the menu and already prejudge before they go in there because they look at the price and it's expensive and they're like, oh, this place is way overpriced. Well, how do you know? You haven't tasted the food. It might be the most amazing food you've ever had. Maybe the price is right. I don't know. So again, judging and prejudging are very natural for us to be negative.
Yeah.
But what you have to look at is AI going to replace jobs or is it going to create jobs? Because if you take whatever's happening in the world, I mean, for a long time, we said that, auto manufacturers are going to have to fire everybody up because machines are going to be making all the cars. Well, guess what? Machines are making the cars, but there are people running those machines. Yeah. Those people that are running those machines are the people that chose to learn a new trade, how to operate them, learn a new trade, how to fix them, because guess what? Machines break. Yeah. So it actually created some jobs. Same with AI. AI, how many millionaires have been created since AI came out? It's new business pops up every probably seems like 2 minutes. I get an email about, oh, we got this new business. And it's always AI based. Ours does this, ours does that. Here's what you can do with AI now. I mean, there's new business. So is it taking jobs away? Yeah. The people that do not want to jump in and learn what AI is and how it can be handy and how it can help them, then yeah, you're right. Those people will probably lose whatever job they have. But there is job creation. Not only that, all right, now, there's one thing. Back in the day of my day, starting a business, you needed a lot of things. Yes, funding definitely helped, but you didn't need it. You just had to have a good attitude. You had to be willing to, no matter what, you could have had the worst day yesterday. Guess what? You got to get up the next day and do it again. So you got to have drive. Right now, if you have drive and you know how to use AI, it is easier than ever right now to start a business. Yeah, it's never been this easy. It's crazy. I mean, it is mind-blowing.
You literally have like research assistants and people who do the legwork,
everything,
the first draft, and create creative elements as well. I mean, it's literally one person becomes 8 people on some level, right? To
yes.
do different things. And so if I distill that, Martin, down to where you're saying, hey, embrace it, right? I mean,
embrace
AI is here along with other things. Embrace it. Maybe ask the question, what am I doing with AI now, today? And it's okay if I say, I don't know, or nothing. And then what do I anticipate 3 years from now? So at least I'm creating a view. And then, but I hear you loud and clear, embrace it. And there's going to be whole new industries coming out of it, whole new possibilities. Like in the car example alone, I mean, cars became very affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not free, but nor should it be free. We're a capitalist market. You create value, you get part of it.
Yeah.
But imagine if cars were all made by hand. I mean, Jesus, you'd have to really go deep to get one, right? And so, good thing. Can't quite see around the corner, but I got to think human thriving in the people who step forward and really embrace. It's like electricity was considered a demon when it first came out, and right, and
everything new is always bad, right?
Yeah, can you imagine no electricity, right? or single purpose electricity just for night baseball, but nothing else, right? I mean, right, and so interesting. What do you see? what do you see next for you? Like, what are you looking forward to?
What am I looking personally or for Boardsi?
Yeah, it could be. I think about you as a person. It could be your company as well.
Looking forward to playing golf tomorrow. I'm just kidding. Oh, for Boardsi, we're taking on AI. We're definitely embracing it. We have a new platform coming out that we utilize AI a lot into it. It's plugged into our system on the back end, on the front end. It's an amazing tool. So we are embracing it. Within this new platform, we're also adding education. It's literally going to come out probably by the time this podcast is live. I'm guessing it'll probably take you a week to edit this. So probably about a week or 2 weeks, the new platform's coming out. So we're going to have executive board education. We're going to have executive branding, help executives stand out. We're going to have a executive profile that's going to be publicly accessible, written specifically for representing them the best that they look as a board member. All these tools that we're coming up with didn't just happen because of AI. That actually has nothing to do with what I just said earlier. But they happened because for 7 years, we have been taking executives and placing them in boards and companies, and we've seen the positive that it can happen. What we've been asking ourselves question is, why is it that when we sent these 100 executives to a company, why did they only choose these 10 to interview? What was wrong with the other 90? Because in our eyes, all 100 were solid. Yeah. Now I know you might not have time to interview 100 of them, but we wanted to find the difference between the 90 and the 10. So we waited for quite a while because we needed a lot of data. Obviously, you can't just base it on one company and what they chose. So we waited to have more data. Once we had that data, we went back and said, okay, let's run some testing and see what the difference was between those executives and why did the 10 get picked. And repeatedly, the people that got picked for an interview had two things. They either had board education and or board experience, where the other ones maybe had it, but not as much. But the biggest thing they had is they were easier to find on Google, not on LinkedIn, on Google. That meant they went out of their way and wrote articles, industry articles. They were featured on podcasts. Hello, I'm on a podcast. They did stuff which we call executive branding. They branded themselves and they were easier to find, and they were basically a thought leader in their industry. And that's why they got picked for the interview, which is why we now have board education and executive branding, helping all of our executive members of Boardsi stand out and get a better chance at an interview.
Well, that's a phenomenal feedback loop, right? This is what distinguishes, and it's the branding, authority, visibility, thing. And tell us a little bit more about how is that built into what you do to help, executives, experienced people elevate.
So it's part of our platform. We just have different sections. It's actually the platform's totally redone, rebuilt. But they get to jump in on education. We have 3 courses right now in the education. They get a Boardsi certification at the end of the course if they pass, obviously. And then the branding is really, really easy. We take a look at their profile, what they have done, their whole work history, their experience, their skill sets. We write out their biography. We publish the biography on the third-party website. We do a specific Q&A. We publish that on the third-party website. And then every month they have access to writing articles, which we curate for them by looking at their experience. And we say, okay, these are the things you would be amazing because of your experience that you could write about. Their thought leadership articles. So we give them title suggestions and they get to write the article and we get to publish it on a third-party website.
That is fantastic, because I'm pretty sure that most business people, executives haven't thought about their authority brand, make them stand out. Nothing beyond the LinkedIn profile, which is not Not a whole lot.
No.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's wild. And just take a note for a moment. Imagine if you didn't have a taste for freedom, all the things that would not have come to be, including your wife and your family. And right, say the board members, the companies. I mean,
Yeah.
you described the business owner that came in literally despair, right? Like literally everything that person envisioned, they probably feel like is falling apart, right? And all that hard work is gonna not materialize into anything. But with the right people, and if you didn't have the taste for freedom, you'd be speaking Russian, right? You'd have done what
Oh,
you were
that's
told to
good.
do.
That's good.
Yeah.
I either died or I'd be dead.
Yeah, in a journey. And so Martin, I appreciate you that you're out there and in the way that you're impacting lives. You're elevating people on both sides of the equation, and that's hugely valuable. And there's something like business owners when they, as capitalists, get criticized, but there's something about when we take something to market, a product and service. The founder, the visionary, the business owner, the business people only capture 2% of the value. And the other, 98% is going into the folks who are using the products and services. And so you can see it, right?
Yeah.
And so my hat's off to you because you the journey and you got to this place where you elevating people. And I think as the machines emerge and become more useful, that human to human aspect is going to be even. I think your timing where you're at in the marketplace is perfect to help humans do really well. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Love it.
So what is the best way? Let me say this first. So no matter what stage of business you're in, reach out and find out, at least create an option on how the better human power experience, the track record could benefit you, to the audience. At least figure it out, right? Nothing's wrong with an option. And
Be open-minded.
be open-minded. And then if you're
Yeah.
a talent and want to be on a board, same thing. I mean, here's a way to elevate your personal brand. Who knows the people you could work with and impact, by following that path. And it comes down to why not at least check it out?
Absolutely. Go. So easiest way, I'll drop it if you don't mind. Just go to boardsi.com, boardsi.com. And then right on the front page, I mean, you can read all kinds of stuff there. Check out my podcast, all that. But right on the front page, you're going to have two options. There's an option for executive. And that's where you can learn about, what it takes to be on the board and how our program works. You can schedule an appointment with one of our account executives to learn even more, or two, for a company and learn more about the B2B side of things. And when you click schedule on that, when you're on that page for the company, when you hit schedule there, you'll be assigned into our B2B link. A totally different account executive, totally different onboarding experience, because it's built for businesses that are looking for the executives on that other side. So easy. Done.
So short answer, do it. Get freedom, gain freedom.
Let's do it.
Do more. Martin, thank you for joining us and joining
Absolutely.
me, and for the audience, thank you for your time and attention. And if you got any questions, reach out. I'll tell you everything I know. Right? Okay, almost everything.
Thank you, Kirk. And let's not lose freedom and hope.
Yeah, man, you got it. I love your story.
Thank you.
Glad you're here doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love it.